Hey y'all, we're back in the garden today and we are going to do a little bit of unboxing. We have been ordering lots of things for spring. So we're just going to prepare to share with you some of the things we have coming in for the garden, and we are also going to be talking food plans for our spring garden. So let's start with the unboxing. Archie, you got a box? All right, let's see. All right, let's open this box right here. All right, one more. Okay, that's good. All right, so let's see what we've got. First box. All right, this is from Eden Brothers, and these are our dahlia tubers. So we've got just 2 bonanza dahlia tubers here, and I'll see if I can find a photo of that to add to the video. This is a new variety we're going to be trying out and just seeing what comes from it for our cut flower garden. I know we talked a little bit about dahlias during the December freeze, and I'll show you guys really quickly when I get up from here, but we actually have some growth on some of our tubers that were left in the garden beds, which is pretty exciting. I mean, it's flowers. We didn't intentionally pick those colors or varieties for cut flowers, but they may be an additional option to some of the other dahlia varieties that we have coming in. So it's exciting to see that we didn't lose all of them. All right, Sully, gonna open another box. All right, bring it this way. All right, this is another box from Eden Brothers. And I'm pretty sure this is more dahlias. Next round of dahlias, we've got Old Rose Mix. And I think that's actually all that I ordered in this box. Old Rose Mix. So we really like this mix for summer and fall. And one thing that I'm trying to focus on is volume and having enough of whatever variety is I'm growing. So I'm trying to make sure that I have plenty of 1 or 2 varieties versus having, you know, 5 or 6 here or there of 20 different varieties of flowers. We grew dahlias last year, so I'm not completely new to them. I'm definitely not an expert on any of these flowers just yet, but some of them we have grown before. So that, I think, is it on our dahlia order for this year. We have Old Rose Mix, Bonanza, and then some of the others that we were growing last year that are already actually making their way back into the garden.
And this is the day when you get to have good generation.
All right, Sally, that's enough. I got it. Thank you. All right, next box. Roses. So we do have some roses in our garden already. I don't know. I think I stumbled across roses in Tractor Supply a couple of years ago and have just been adding a few to the garden here or there over the last couple of years. We didn't grow any at the old house in our old garden, but I really, really enjoy seeing them in the garden. I don't cut from them often, but because I'm focusing more on cut flowers this year, maybe I will give that a chance this year. So let's see what we got. These are David Austin roses. This is my first order from them, but I've seen good reviews and stuff like that online. Pretty well-known brand. And I ordered a few bare root plants in the fall before Christmas. And what happens is Some companies will wait until it's the correct planting time to send you your plants. So these were ordered in the fall and they just got here today. And because they're bare root, I'm probably going to have to plant them or get them in some water tonight. All right, I don't really remember what I ordered, but let's see. Okay, so I've got Boscobel variety right here. And again, I'll see if I can add some photos so you guys can see what these look like. Boscobel. I've got Charles Darwin variety. I just slung mud onto my face. No, thank you.
What?
Desdemona. All of these look the same. But maybe as they begin to flower over the summer, I'll keep the tags on so that I can show you guys what these look like as they progress in the garden. We've got Olivia Rose and Lady of Shallot. I think this is kind of like an orange one, but I'll see if I can find the photo to add in. So those are the rose varieties we're going to be adding this year. I'm going to stick these back in the bag and I'll probably get them in the ground this evening. And let's see what's in the last box. Last box. Oh no, it's not. These aren't flower buckets. So we've been ordering lots of buckets for our flower harvesting, and the boys thought these were flower buckets, but these are actually milking pails. So both of our ewes are expecting lambs. I keep saying any day now, so probably within the next week or so, and we're going to be milking into these stainless steel buckets. We may use one or two for display as far as flowers go, but these are primarily for milking. These we just got off of Amazon. Alrighty, let's go take a look at food for our spring garden. While we're focusing on flowers as our primary business venture for our farm, food is still very near and dear to why I love gardening. So I am growing some food for the garden. It is March, early March, and these are my pepper seedlings that were started, I'd say probably about a month ago. So I'll show you or tell you the varieties. I've got New Mex Joe pepper, so that's a sweet stuffing or grilling pepper right here. We've got Chocolate Beauty bell pepper, Cali Wonder. Both of these are bell peppers, and this is going to be like a brown pepper, and this is going to be like an orangish yellow bell pepper, and we will usually stuff those, or sometimes I'll just dice and freeze them and I'll use them in like spaghetti or chili or something like that. Shishito pepper, that's become a very popular one. We usually just grill those. I like them. I'm not sure if Sully likes them, but I'm trying to just grow enough for what we really need to eat fresh, and maybe freeze a few, but no huge canning ventures. And then I've got some early jalapenos over there, and we like stuffed jalapenos, like jalapeno poppers, and sometimes I'll do cowboy candy. So that's what I've got that's what I've got for the food so far as peppers go. Alrighty, over here I've got my tomatoes in the greenhouse still. It's been warm here in 8B low country of South Carolina, but every year, you know, everyone likes to act super surprised that we still get a frost or a freeze in like mid-April. So I'm not planting these out. I will be potting them up soon, but here's what I'm growing as far as tomatoes. I've got Amish paste tomatoes, which are red. Can use those for canning if I have an excess, but I'm trying not to grow a crazy amount of tomatoes. You guys, honestly, we don't eat like a ton of tomato dishes. Pizza sauce, yes, but we don't do a ton of spaghetti. So I am growing primarily to eat fresh. So that's what the Amish paste is for. Amana is an orange tomato. I thought that would be really pretty in like salads or tomato sandwiches, tomatoes on sourdough. I've got green German. I want to try fried green tomatoes, and also I felt like that would be really pretty on sourdough tomato toast. And then we've got a row of black creme tomatoes right there. So that is the extent of what I'm growing for tomatoes. I do have some extra peppers that I planted right there just in case. My peppers were a little slow to germinate, so I do have some extra ones in these cells right there that are starting to come up. But that's it for my tomatoes and my peppers. The citrus that was not thriving outside is now blooming and beginning to put on small fruit buds. Let's see. This was our Persian lime. Lots of buds, little fruits up top. I did end up losing the grapefruit. That was probably the worst one. The Eureka, the variegation on that looks a lot better than it did before. And then this is our Hamlin orange. Orange blossoms smell absolutely heavenly if you have not smelled them before. So if you ever have the opportunity, don't pass it up. But yeah, lots of buds. And this is a sunflower that's probably 4 or 5 feet tall, working its way out of the greenhouse. It's been growing in here all winter, so I figured I'd just leave it to do its thing. And then this stick right here that I've had to cut back completely was the orange tree that you guys saw last fall, full of oranges. I think we got like 20, just over 20 oranges off of that, but it's not dead. It'll come back. This is actually what this Valencia orange right there looked like at the end of last winter. So yep, this is what's going on in the greenhouse. I've also got our first round of warm season annuals started in here. So we've got white light sunflowers. I've got let's see what this is down here. Afternoon white cosmos starting to come up down there. Great germination on this blue penstemon. This is actually going to be going in the ground here. More penstemon right there that did great. This one not so much. Got hyssop in this round container right here that needs to be separated and planted out probably in another week or so. Gomphrena, more cosmos. So I'm done with cool season flowers. At this point, everything has been sown. I still have to transplant some things out, but as far as sowing, I am now on to warm season annuals. I'm going to show you guys what we've got growing, update you on a few things. Yeah, let's take a look. All right, on the topic of food, we've got a little patch of carrots right here. These were sown last fall and got some parsley coming up, and between this we've got straw flower, and I actually just planted another little patch at the back of this bed. I've got a couple more carrots planted in this bed. That's what you see coming up right here. And then our sweet peas are across the trellis. I'm thinking as those finish up, that's where I will plug in the cucumbers. And then all of this is just forget-me-nots in between the carrots and the sweet peas across the trellis in the back. I know I spoke to you guys about this phlox that I had initially believed to be straw flower. It's definitely phlox, it's flowering, but on second thought, this is not a cut flower variety. So there are certain varieties of flowers that are grown specifically for cutting, for their height, for their vase life, for their disease resistance. And the phlox that I put in last year, I know was not made for cutting. So I kept some of it because it was so close to flowering anyways. It's a cool season flower. So I did a small succession over here. I'm not sure that I will actually get anything off of that because it is a cool season. It's a cool season flower. I'm gonna give it a go. I left this here just for the pollinators for now. It looks really nice, but I'm not sure it's actually tall enough for me to do anything with. But the colors are beautiful and it's really fragrant. It smells nice. So that's what's going on with the phlox. All right, this in-ground bed here is full. This is our bachelor button mix, and we've got a couple poppies here and there, and then what you see over here are the fall planted bells of Ireland. So you can sort of see the succession I've got going here with the bachelor button. This was first planted, the second succession. Bachelor button bells of Ireland have been here, but then I came in yesterday and I sowed some more bachelor button, so those will flower last. All of this looks like it needs to be watered again. It's been mid-70s here today, so. But that is, that's our bed of bachelor button, which would be a really good filler flower, and it's one of the few flowers that have that true blue color, so that'll add a nice pop to the bouquets. All right, here's the bed right in front of the greenhouse. This is Rudbeckia. I think this is the Rudbeckia hirta variety, so just the big yellow daisy-like black-eyed Susan. I sowed this yesterday, and I'm kind of nervous about going in ground, but we have a lot of space in this garden, and so I kind of need to figure out how to use that to my advantage since it's fenced off and we can keep the animals away from it. There's still plenty of space here in the garden to be used. So these were started about 2 months ago. They're kind of slow going, and I will be sowing more Rudbeckia probably mid-April, hopefully in some fall colors, some oranges and some deep burgundies for fall bouquets. All right, the daffodils are up. I'm pulling a lot of yellow daffodils. I've got a couple of different varieties planted. I'm not selling these yet because I'm really only getting 4 or 5 or 6 maybe a day or every other day, and I don't have enough coming up at once to make even 2 bunches or bouquets a day. So these are coming in slowly, and I'm kind of just trying to remind myself that it's been unseasonably warm. We just hit March, and these have been blooming since mid-February, here and there, one or two. And last year, I don't even think we got our first daffodil until the 10th of March. So I'm just reminding myself to just like chill out a little bit, because there's still plenty of daffodils left ahead of us. And thankfully it's supposed to be cooling off here in the next few days for a little bit, so that'll be nice. But this bed also has bupleurum interplanted and some delphinium interplanted. That's what I see right here. Both of those are new to me, so we'll see how they do. This is our first succession of bupleurum, which has that really funky pattern on it right here. I love that. So bupleurum, some forget-me-nots, and some stock, which loves it cold. Again, it's been hot here. This looks like it's on its way to flowering, and I don't really know what to expect. So, yeah, not really banking on the stock, but I've got plenty of forget-me-nots, plenty of bupleurum, some other things planted. Our chives are about to, let's see. Our chives are about to bloom. I've seen people pick these blossoms and make a vinegar for vinaigrettes, so that's an option. Yeah, this is probably something I pick from like 3 or 4 times a week, the green onions and the chives. All right, this bed right here is sort of a mixed bag. I've got cilantro that is bolting. So this cilantro is finishing up. You can see the beginning of flowers right here, and those will go to seed, which is coriander. I don't use a whole ton of coriander in cooking, but I usually just save the seeds and then plant cilantro the next year. So that's finishing up. In my experience, cilantro is going to be a cool season herb. I don't grow it through the spring and summer here in 8B, South Carolina, because it likes it cool. It just bolts as soon as it gets warm. So that's what you're seeing with that. Our strawberries are flowering. That's what we've got along the edges of this planter here. More chives. These are green onions. These actually were the end of some grocery store green onions. I had to buy some after that deep freeze because I lost mine. And you know, the little end piece with just the slightest bit of roots, just stuck them in there, and there they are. So now I've got green onions again. Arugula, that's what all of this is right here. It's ready to be picked, and I had ants that would not leave over here, so that's why this soil is all disturbed. But I've got a lettuce mix coming up right there, and lettuce is another thing that I usually just grow throughout the cooler months, so October through probably January, February, because for me, the varieties that I have had, they usually just go bitter here once it warms up. Very, very bitter. So we'll see if these put on any growth or not. And always Bermuda grass, always. Oh, there's still ants in here. I brought something for ants, but it was way toxic, so I didn't use it. Okay, I'm getting sidetracked. All right, here is our bed of yarrow. There are also some gladiolus I'm starting to see come up in this bed, and because I sort of had a little bit of everything everywhere, I think it'll take me a while to get everything sort of sorted out. And honestly, I don't know if it will ever just be one plant a bed based on the size of everything we have going on here. But this is in the front, my first succession of yarrow, and in the back we've got a second succession of yarrow. And I will probably start yarrow maybe 1 or 2 more times. This is a plant that's new to me, so it's one I'm going to be learning about growing and harvesting this year. But this should be a good filler for the bouquets. I think I'm growing Summer Pastel and Berries variety of yarrow. All right, so remember I was telling you guys I had some dahlias coming back up. That's what we've got here in the middle of our snapdragons on this side, and we've got Craspedia on this side. So I'm not sure how many more dahlias we'll have coming up. This might be another one right here, but it's fine. I'm just gonna leave it. It's better than Bermuda. So snapdragons, Craspedia. I've got, oh look, there's more. Gee whiz. Here's more dahlias. Well, you guys, I don't know, maybe it just didn't freeze that deep, that far down in the bed. But yeah, they're definitely coming back. We've got more carrots. Carrots can be stored for a while without any canning or pickling necessary. You can keep them in the fridge for quite a bit of time. So that's why I decided to leave the carrots. Even though I've got all these snapdragons and other things growing amongst them, once I pull them out, have some more spots to stick a few things. But that's what we've got throughout this bed right here. I think my snapdragon varieties are Costa Silver and Apricot. So we should have like a pinky white and a white peach color snapdragon. So that's there. This first row with these markers and mounds that you see, that's where Archer is preparing to plant his pumpkins. So he's been tilling this space a bit. We've been adding food scraps under all of these little mounds you see. We added some eggs that we saved from last year just to fertilize these mounds a bit. Pumpkins are heavy feeders, so we'll leave that for a couple of months, and then he will be transplanting some pumpkins. And I think I'm also going to let Sully put some watermelons down the back side of that row right there. So that's what that's about. In this bed, we've got more gladiolus coming up. I think I had like a lime green gladiolus last year, so that's what that is. And then I've got some Persian cress. This is a second succession of cress, and then the first is over here with my first succession of snapdragons. So that's what this bed is full of, cress and snapdragons, and these are the Costa Silver snaps. I need to get netting on this stuff. I think that's something I'm kind of procrastinating on because I know it's probably going to be a pain in the butt. But these snaps are getting some length to them, and I'm pretty sure the packaging on the cress said that it needed to be supported. So that's something that's going to have to be done here soon. But yeah, you guys, this garden is pretty much planted completely at this point. I pulled all of the frost fabric back. All of these flowers are cool season, so if we get a light frost or freeze, as long as it's not like in the teens, we should be good to go. My kumquats died back, which I hate because they were so pretty, but they're not completely dead. I don't know if you can see this little sign of life right there. So I'm going to be pulling all of these citrus, putting them in pots. It's going to be a spring and summer project because we love the citrus. Super yummy. And I mean, we already invested in the plants, so it seems kind of pointless to waste them. So with wanting to focus on growing our business as a farm, the majority of the garden is flowers at this point, but I just showed you guys the peppers. I showed you the tomatoes that I'm planning on growing. I think the last couple of things that I'm going to focus on as far as food are cucumbers, basil, and the boys are very interested in growing pumpkins and watermelon this year. So I'm going to be focusing on pumpkins with Archer. He would love to sell at our farm stand. Not sure if you guys saw the last video, or maybe it was a couple videos ago, but we did post our farm stand build that's on the channel, and Archer would love to sell some pumpkins at the farm stand, so we're going to be learning all about pumpkins, and hopefully we will get a good crop of those for him. And Sully loves watermelon, so I'm going to be focusing on growing watermelons with him. And we had really good success last year with the Charleston Gray variety. He has picked out a variety, I believe that's called Sweet Jubilee. So I think those are the two varieties that we're going to focus on. And I think that is pretty much it as far as what we're going to be growing just for our enjoyment and eating fresh over the summer. We still have herbs in the garden that will probably just, you know, keep producing through the summer. We've got our thyme, we've got oregano. We are going to be growing some basils for our bouquets and for fresh eating. We love pasta with fresh basil in the summertime. It's kind of become a thing for us, so we're definitely looking forward to that. But I think that's it as far as food goes. So that means we are not going to be growing okra this year. We're probably not going to be trying green beans or lima beans, or what's something else? I don't know. I might, this is how it begins. I might grow a couple zucchini if I can find space for them. But the squash bugs and pickle worms are really bad here in the warmer months. So yeah, that might be it. I think we're just trying to dial it in a little bit and focus. So I wanted to catch you guys up with what we're going to be growing for fun and for food, and also fill you in on our plans for the spring. So you guys know that this is our first year growing cut flowers, and we haven't shared this on our social media yet. I'm sure we'll be talking about it a bit more, but we were actually accepted into a local farmer's market to sell flowers. We will be at the Ridgeville Farmers Market selling fresh cut flower bouquets, sown, grown, and harvested right here in the garden, which is really exciting. The farm stand will be open this year. I would love it to just be like an everyday thing, but that'll really depend on how many flowers we're able to produce. And my sister and I are actually going to be starting a mobile bouquet bar. So my sister and her husband have been working really, really hard to renovate a vintage Prowler camper that they picked up a year or so ago and turn it into our mobile bouquet bar. And we are going to be taking this camper to markets and events and birthday parties and baby showers and bridal showers and all of those fun celebratory things around town, so that we are able to share our passions with you guys and build community and just have a good time. And I'm really, really looking forward to that. I know she's super excited too. So if you're local and you want us to pull up with a bouquet bar, just shoot me a message or an email. That whole venture is under Sistas and Stems on Instagram. And yeah, that's about it. I'm definitely looking forward to the spring and summertime. We've got a lot of exciting things in the works. The boys are really excited about going to the farmers market, and you know, Archer, he loves to be involved in all of those things. So yeah, hopefully we will catch some of you local friends out there, and until next time, we will see you guys soon. Bye.